Hey everybody, it's Wednesday night. It's Two Legs Live. Hope you're all doing well. This is what, number 7 in the summer concert series there, Andy?
Summer concert series. Yeah, like we're a bunch of singers here, right? Yes, and this is summer series number 7.
Yeah. Stop
Yes.
number 7 in the world tour.
Yeah, the never ending world tour.
Right, right. So what's going on? You doing good?
I'm doing very well, thank you. And things are just getting ready for the fest.
Yes, getting ready
Ch-
for the
the
fest.
Chicago Fest, my first one ever, first time in Chicago, first time
Wow.
going to a Chicago Fest. So yeah,
Right.
very very excited to go and have the time to do that in a couple of days. So how are you, brother?
Not too bad. I had a little bit of a sad week, but we'll
Yeah,
talk about it a little
yeah.
bit.
We'll talk
But
about that in a little bit as people pop
yeah,
on here. A little bit
yeah.
of a sad week here. We lost obviously somebody, a very very good friend of the show, and then also an
Mhm.
icon and somebody near and dear to Tom's heart. Yeah. So
Right.
hello, Brad. Hello, Tom Brennan.
How are you guys?
So this
You
is our
doing well?
first time doing. So we're streaming on YouTube, but we're also streaming on Facebook as well.
Right.
We thought that no, now that we reached our 1,000 subscribers, we felt okay. Maybe now we'll, we can go back to, pushing our content out to both platforms and, you know, um, see how we do. I've got Facebook up on one monitor and
Okay.
YouTube here, so we can kind of see who chimes in and. Nick and Christian and Kevin and Bob and Kit. Hiya, Kit. We're just talking about you. All good things though.
We're just talking about you. Yeah, Susan, how you doing? Susan's watching on Facebook. It looks like.
Susan.
So
So this. Oh, okay, great. So now this actually tells me who's commenting on it.
right.
Great.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
fantastic. Susan, I have not forgot about your request. I will look into that for you. With some Liverpool people, I have not. I saw your message. I have not forgotten about it. I will get back to you on that. So thank you
Mm,
for your inquiry on that one.
right. Well,
Uh,
I was hoping that I would have the McCartney 1, 2, 3
yeah,
vinyl
what the
set
frig? You don't have it
to
yet.
show.
It's
No, it's
out.
it's
Why not?
it's still in Kansas City, apparently, and
Oh,
or yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, Kansas City.
Kansas City. Get
You
my
get my
box set
vinyl
here
right now.
today. Yeah, yeah.
Anyways, but yeah, so hopefully tomorrow, or whatnot. I was gonna, and then I went to the like, screw it. If I'm not gonna get the vinyl today, maybe I'll just run to Zia and get the
And go with
CD
the
set.
CD set. Yeah, did you?
And then I get there and they say no, we're not scheduled to get it until the 19th.
Oh,
I'm
hold
like,
up.
Jesus.
Think about you got 85,000 Zias in a 20
Right,
square mile radius in that freaking
right,
city, and you
right.
can't get one box set there?
I can't get one box set there. They said the 19th they're getting them.
Oh, well, now I saw a retail. Now listen, I have said I'm not going to get this, but I did look at Amazon to think about getting the CD version of it because it was like 40
Okay,
bucks.
that's not bad.
The vinyl's going for 89 on Amazon. I don't know if that's what you
Right.
locked in at. Did
Yeah,
you lock it?
well, I got 99 because I got the color.
Of course. So, all right, so that's where I was. I was thinking about, but I can't do it. Brad, can you get it both in stereo if you're watching? You probably could. You probably could. Oh, did we just miss Kit? Tony says he was watching Kit live. I did not know that Kit was live, even though she told me she was gonna. I missed that. Darn it.
Kevin says he's finally making one of these chats live. Thank you, Kevin, for being here. Appreciate you. Tony, good seeing you as well. So yeah, so I mean, I was just ecstatic to show the clear vinyl, the white vinyl, because some of the vinyls they don't all look the same,
No,
So
and I will say I do like the touch that they did with the artwork. It's very plain. And I like how they went with an Apple label for McCartney. They went with the
right,
classic
Parlophone.
Parlophone
Yeah,
for McCartney 2, which if you have an original McCartney 2 from the UK,
right,
that's how it looks. So I like
right,
that aspect of it. But
right. Yeah.
I read a comment somewhere on social media that they said they wish they had packaged those up to be at least maybe like repressings of the archive edition. So you had those bonus tracks on vinyl with
Mm,
this in this kind of
right,
McCartney 1, 2, 3 thing. But I guess he just
right.
is going to keep these pure with what the original standard releases were.
Yeah. And they look like they're new pressings. They don't look like they were, leftovers from, past pressings or
No,
whatnot, like So they look like the genuine new pressings. So that's exciting. So
But I mean,
yeah,
other than our, I mean, okay, it's going to be another nice cleaning sound version of the same record that you own ten
right,
times over.
yeah. Why not? I mean,
Um, I yeah, I just can't.
I
I'm at
know.
that.
I get you. I get you. But
So the,
Beatley Tone, how you doing? Nice
hello,
video on the archive set with the the price change and
I
everything like
like
that.
that. That was a great
Yeah,
video, and
yeah.
as I commented on your channel, boy, am I glad we bought these
Oh,
archive sets the minute that they
absolutely.
dropped. Going back to 2010 when I was in England, and I saw, and they
Right,
said, "Oh, Band on the Run archive edition's coming out." Click buy.
right.
Next
And
year,
it's funny
McCartney,
too.
McCartney,
Right,
McCartney 2, click buy. I mean, they're
right.
just instant. Thank God we did that.
Yeah. And and at first I was just going with the regular CDs, the
The
regular
the
two
the
disc, the
standard
two
two
regular
disc
two
was,
disc, yeah.
yeah.
And then I was just like, screw it. I mean, if I'm missing out on stuff on these box
Right.
sets, um, I'm gonna go with them. Uh and then I just started getting them. I got a
Yeah.
great deal on McCartney 2 set. I got it for
Oh,
$50 on
I think
Amazon. Yeah,
I got McCartney and McCartney 2 for about $60
yeah,
a piece.
yeah,
Um, Beatley Tone. Oh yeah, when you see Two Legs comment on YouTube, that's generally always me. Tom will
right,
comment and reply under Tom's own name.
right,
If you see Two Legs replying, that's always going to be me
yeah,
on the YouTube videos. So, but I loved your breakdown and your graphic and the
yeah,
percentages of the increase. Now he's talking in pound sterling, which
right,
of course is even much more money than ours here. In
yes,
fact, I did a quick look just before we went on today because I was listening to Pipes of Peace today just to see what you could get that archive box for. And I went on Discogs and it's about 100. I saw copies available for about $120 or so
mm,
with shipping. So again, that's US dollars. So it's going to be a little bit cheaper for us than our friends across the pond. But the ones that are so scarce, and I think what was the one that skyrocketed up in price was McCartney, right? The first one.
yeah, yeah. That
Yeah,
was pretty crazy. See, I thought it would have been McCartney too,
I would
myself.
have thought McCartney too as well.
You know, because that was probably in the early stages of that series, the one that was probably the least desirable.
Which
You know,
McCartney too. Yeah, but
McCartney
I tell
too.
you
Yeah.
what, that one still remains the best bang for buck in terms
Oh,
of
well,
in
in
in,
those
ter-
early releases, I agree.
in the early releases of the
Yeah.
first of the Concord issued stuff. The Pipes of Pete, I'm sorry, the McCartney 2 archive deluxe box gave you the best bang for your buck. I always felt with the bonus tracks, the video content on there. I just and it's crazy to think in 10 years how the value of what these things have gone for.
Right.
And Concord, Paul ceased to be with Concord for a long time now. So why not Capital reissue it? Tom, I know, has been saying this for a long time.
Yeah.
Put them back out again.
Put them back out. Let the fans that didn't have a chance to get them before, let them have a chance to get it. I just want to say hi to a few people that
Yeah,
just
people
joined
just
us.
popped in. Go ahead, Tom.
Tobias, how you doing? Yes, she's gone, and we'll be talking about her in a little bit. Don, good to see you, my friend. Beat Bailey is here. He just started a brand new YouTube channel, just past 100 subscribers. Congratulations, my friend.
Hey, Beat Bailey,
And
our
yeah,
Uber Maca hardcore fan.
that's
That could
right.
yes, he's
That's
got
right.
such a great collection.
Yeah, so check out his channel and subscribe. Check out Beadley Tone's channel. He just passed 1K, so congratulations on that to you guys too. So
Yeah, these
I
are
know
good.
Gary,
Yep.
our buddy Gary's here as well. Thank you all for popping in. So, but yeah, I mean these archives. You knew though they were gonna go for some big butts once
It's just
he.
amazing to me that to think that something that has been pressed within the last decade is now an astronomical price, and you could get an original pressing of, say, Revolver for
Right.
roughly the same amount of money
Hmm,
for a maybe give or take,
right.
so for a 50-year-old record,
Right.
it's crazy to
Yeah.
think about. And when we bought these, did you think when you bought McCartney these archives that 10 years time that they would be out of print and fetching these crazy insane amounts on eBay?
Well, once he re-signed with Capital, yeah, it had that feeling that you weren't these sets once they were done. that's it. Once you can't get them on Amazon anymore, for that original price, then yeah, I knew those
Yeah.
were going to skyrocket.
Listen, 99% of Paul's product, aside from this recent box set for me, when it is announced, it's direct to Amazon, click buy.
Yeah.
And that for most things for me, Tom, I think does everything. But so that's, again, it all depends on where you're at and you're collecting in fandom. If you're old enough, and fortunately, Tom and I were at that point in time, even though we didn't know each other then, and
Right.
didn't even think twice about it. Oh, okay, $50, $60, okay, click, done, buy.
Yeah,
but
true.
but it's funny. You think about comparing McCartney and McCartney 2 boxes. The
Mhm.
McCartney one, and Beatley Tony, mentioned this on his video. You really strive for any kind of good content on that McCartney. You've only got 2 CDs. The second CD's
Mhm.
only got 7 tracks and a
Right.
couple of
Right.
videos on the third one. So it's a
Right.
little on the skimpy side, but
Little
you
light,
knew,
just kind of like Pipes of Peace was too, and Speed of Sound. They're those three are probably the skimpiest.
yeah, but you had nice
All
videos. You had nice videos for
yeah,
Pipes of Peace and a book just on the video.
right. That's true. That's true.
Um, One thing I didn't include in my video was the super right,
No.
that blue one with the blue shell, with the
Mhm.
prints in a slipcase. A subscriber asked me for a price on it. He found a copy, and one copy cost 1,332 quid. Wow.
Wow. Yeah. That's insane. Yeah, I think our friend Ken Womack got one, and I mean this thing was, or
Oh
that
no,
was the flaming pie was
Flaming
like
Pie was the
this.
one like that.
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, 7 bonus tracks, and one of those was Womankind. Yeah, exactly. Not the, and you're getting live versions of, maybe I'm Amazed from the Glasgow show
Right.
in '79.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tony's right. Finally, nice to have
Totally.
Suicide as a bonus track.
Exactly. Exactly. Tobias, no, I think it's well deserved. I mean, Lennon should have more shows or streams or stuff dedicated just to him and his, you know, short-lived career.
Tobias, I love your logo
Yeah.
of the Parlophone
Yeah.
logo as your image there.
Right.
Tony says he's still trying to find the McCartney 2 and the Wings of the Speed of Sound
Speed of
Deluxe.
sound.
Good luck.
Yeah. So as you see behind me, I just got the UK Flaming Pie. So I'm excited
25
about
years too
that.
late.
Yeah, 25 years too late. Surprisingly good deal. It's a good deal on it. Didn't
Was
pay
it?
an arm
Good.
and leg. Oh yeah,
Good.
didn't pay arm and leg. So happy about that. But that's funny, Kevin. all of you out there are the honorary or our honorary
Now,
third leg.
So yeah, and you told me you played it yesterday. Nice, clean sounding record for
Yeah,
a
very
late
good.
'90s pressing. Super thin vinyl. Is that like I was telling you?
The UK doesn't feel as thin as the US. Yeah,
Really?
but I have to go back and check that US one. But
I think in '97 I probably paid about $30 for that for UK. Which, listen, for a teenage kid, that was a lot of dough to part with, to get a UK Flaming Pie in 1997. But glad to see that you got a good deal on it.
Yeah. Susan just ordered the Lawrence Juber guitar with wings, special edition, cool, and that comes out with the Standard Time CD. Absolutely.
Ah, very good. I was just looking at that the other day. I bought that at the April Fest when my partner was out here.
Yep.
The Europe box. Talk about an arm and a leg. Yeah. Was it 2,000 US dollars now? Last look, probably still going for that. I don't know. Maybe Beatley Tone can look. The Wings Live. Now that's one that you did not opt for. You just bought Wildlife and Red Rose Speedway separately.
Right. Yes.
Now, you just didn't have any desire to get that box, or you just didn't at the time?
Yeah, I didn't get the desire. I didn't have the desire to get the box for one reason or the other. Of course, I'm going to kick myself in the butt for not getting it.
Right? Because I mean, the way that you jumped at like something like McCartney 1, 2, 3, like I would have thought back then. Now I wasn't on with you then with Two Legs, but I would have thought that's something when it came out in 2018, you would have been like, got to get it. I mean, because you got the suitcase. So, and the live the Wings Live box went for similar price. I think it was about 400 something.
What the combination of the two, the big barn box?
Yes, it was 400 and change.
Was it 400 change? Okay.
Yep.
Hello, Paulina. Good to see you. Always good to see you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
Um,
for whatever reason, I just didn't justify it or whatever. Maybe it was because I was gonna take the two out anyways and line them up with the other one, and then
but
what was I gonna do with the big box? You
but
know,
just keep it. It's just because you're
yeah,
getting Wings live over Europe as a live
right,
CD. So that
right.
made that
But then
box unique.
also I knew that David was gonna burn it for me anyways.
So you were gonna get it anyway.
Right.
Um, yeah, absolutely beat Bailey the first pressing yeah. I remember like feeling that cover for the first time back then and be like, wow, this is how a UK
Right.
vinyl feels. The cover, the texture was a little bit different, and again,
Mhm.
1990s vinyl was so scarce as we know
Right.
back then. But it's a nice one to have for sure, and
Yeah.
should be in any McCartney fans collection if you're out there if you've got it.
Yeah.
Um,
William, it absolutely is expensive to see Paul, and it's expensive to see a lot of people. I mean, obviously with Bruce Springsteen, it's expensive to see
uh,
him.
he just there
Yeah.
almost 1,200 pounds. He found one on
Woof.
Discogs. So
Wow.
for the big barn box, wow. Um, long long reign the suitcase. Yes. Um,
Glad you got one, buddy.
yeah. Uh, Big Barn Box was cheap compared to All Things Must Pass box. Well,
Yes.
that's a fact, Susan. No,
Fact.
yeah, but then you went and got that, but you didn't
Yeah.
get Paul. See, that's what
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, there'll be a time.
Yeah.
Um,
I did not get. I have the picture disc in my on my watch list on eBay, so I will pick that up eventually.
I do. I have this. I have the 7-inch single. I don't.
Mhm.
That's it. I don't have
I
the
thought you
picture
had the
disc.
12-inch single on.
Oh, I have the
No,
12.
no, no,
12.
no. Wait a minute. Are we talking what song are we talking about again?
Girl is mine.
Okay, yeah, I have the regular
Seven
7-inch
inch.
disc. You're right.
Yeah, 7-inch. I have that. Tony's asking, what is the Big Barn Box? Tony, the Big Barn Box is the Wings Live 71 to 73.
Right.
It's kind of exclusive box that came out on Paul's website back at the end of 2018.
Right.
In that mad dash of releases that was the fourth quarter of 2018, when you had the Beatles White Album arc box set
Yeah.
and Egypt. Was there any Egypt? No, you had Imagine in the fourth quarter of 2018. So that came out at the end of the year, and it was you had Wildlife Archive, Red Rose Speedway Archive, and Wings Live
Right.
over Europe, which was unique to this set, which is why a lot of fans wish that it got a standalone release because you can't get that concert anywhere else other than that box.
Right. Right. And it's not called the Big Barn Box. I think
No,
that's just the nickname.
it's what the fans call it.
Yeah. Right.
It's really it's as Beatley Tone says here. It's Wings Live 71 to 73 is
Right.
what it's called. And I listen. I'm very glad that I got that because it's one of my favorite eras of Wings.
Yeah.
So
It's a nice looking box too. I mean, I like the bright colors on it.
well,
I
you
like
see,
you
he's kind of capitalizing that on with the merchandising now. If you go to
right.
his site with the 72
Right.
tour merch that he's got the shirts and stuff. Did you buy any of that stuff yet, Tom, or no?
No, not yet. Not yet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, but what else
Big,
we got? Big bucks.
fact. Fact.
That's funny. Good
Yeah.
job, Don. Good job. But
Yeah.
but you're going to the fest here this week. You're heading there Friday morning, right?
Yes. Yeah. I'm going to Chicago for the first time ever. I've never been, and I'm going to the Chicago Fest. As a Jersey guy, I've always gone to the New York Fest. I've probably been to 10 in my lifetime. Wouldn't
Right.
say that I'm kind of one of these people that go every single year and attend every single day. It was
Mhm.
never that kind of. The only time I ever did that was this past year when Tom flew to Jersey
Right.
and we went every single day. And boy, it required a lot of energy to do that. So
Yes, it did. But before you go back, I just want to say hi to James, who just commented. Good to
yeah,
see you, James.
you got a couple of
And
questions here anyway.
yeah,
Ralph is asking you, did you get McCartney 123? He's probably late. Tom
yep,
explained at the top when we went on. He has
yeah,
not received it yet.
correct. That's right. Hopefully tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow or Friday. Hopefully we'll
Yeah.
get it. But you've got your schedule now. You said you're going to be what on 5 panels this
Four or
this weekend.
five
Yeah.
panels. Yeah, I'm gonna try to post this up now and see if this works. So bear with me.
Mhm.
And so Saturday, let me see if this. There we go. Did it
There
come
you
up?
go. Yep.
That's probably, but you probably can't read it. But I'll Saturday at 2:30. I'll be in the paperback writer room, which is this column, right? Which is the blue column when you see it on your screen there.
Mhm.
Saturday at 2:30, I will be in the paperback writer room, which is Grand Ballroom B, at 2:30 for a academic college puddings discussion with myself, Kit O'Toole, Ken Womack, Ed Chen, and Karen. I don't want to butcher her last name, so I'm not going to say it, but I'll ask Kit to educate me on that. And that's going to kind of be about kind of some of our um, well, what classes we've taken on Beatles histories and stuff like that.
All
I'll
right.
talk about my master's program in Liverpool, graduating from there a little bit. Then at 6:30 in the McCarran room, we're going to have a Talk More Talk, Two Legs, and When They Was Fab podcast crossover episode with Kid O'Toole, Ed Chen, and myself. And I'm really looking forward to that one because the three of us have been had a couple of Zoom calls to kind of plan this one out, and we're going to be discussing kind of the evolution of Beatles documentaries from 1970 all the way through with Let It Be, all the way up to Get Back, and kind of touching upon certain ones that came out, kind of which and where we were in our fandom when we picked up these documentaries and what they mean moving forward. Are they relevant still? Are they outdated? Pros and cons of you know Apple sanctioned documentaries versus independent documentaries, things of that nature. So we've got a great discussion lined up with that. I'm really excited. As kids told me here, "Do high" is how it's pronounced. Thank you, Kit. So yeah, that's on Saturday night at 6:30 in the McCarran room. And then on Sunday, back in the paperback writer room, it's the collectors panel at 5 o'clock. My partner Tom was on this panel in New Jersey back in
Right.
April as a bona fide collector of McCartney and all things Beatles. He did a great job on that panel, and I sat there in my seat trying to go live on my phone, and then people were like, "It's the quality's crap. The quality's crap." I tried. But Tom was on that panel. He did a great job. I was very proud of him when he did that back in April. And now it's my turn to do the same thing. And I'm really excited. That's going to be with myself, Ethan Alexanian,
Yeah.
Piers Hemmingson, Ray Zirkle, and Terry Crane of
Yes.
the NEMS Enterprises book,
Yes.
merchandising book.
Matter of fact, that's not too different from the only difference I think is just you and I. There's like this little switcheroo.
I think it's the same panel. It's just they swapped legs.
Yeah, they swapped legs.
Right, because it was Piers.
Right.
I don't know if Ray Zirkle was on that panel.
No,
though,
Ray
Jersey.
wasn't on there. Ray wasn't on there. But it was Piers,
Piers,
Terry,
Ethan, and Terry, and you.
Right.
And
right.
I believe Susan Ryan moderated that one, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's at 5 o'clock in the paperback writer room on Sunday.
Yep.
And then the last one of the day is 5:45 in the same room. Is the Beatles media panel, and that's going to be, of course, led by our devout leader there, the Queen of all Beatles media, Kid O'Toole, myself, Ken Womack, Ethan Alexanian, Ed Chen, Skylar Moody, and Lila. And I'm not sure how to pronounce her last name either, but they're the two that have the Beatles TikTok accounts, and they're younger fans. So I'm sure that to have a younger fans perspective. So that's the media panel, and you've got a wide range of ages there too. So.
Yep.
Young fans in there, younger 20s all the way up to old farts like us. So as we're getting up there in age. So yeah, those are the four main ones I'll be on. That's just me. I mean, Kit, right. God bless Kit. Kit's I think going to be on 7, including an authors panel too. So Kit is going to be like kind of my unofficial tour guide of the Hyatt Regency and tell me where everything is. And I'm just really looking forward to it and seeing her again. It's her. She came to my backyard. Now I get to go to hers. So a lot of activity, and I always hear that the Chicago Fest is like the best one. So
we'll see. I mean, like Kid said, it's a bigger hotel, more room to get around. You're way north, so unfortunately, you're not close to. You're not, in the city. I lived in the city for 6 years, and I mean, the nightlife in Chicago is absolutely fantastic. But but you'll be so far removed,
So I'm not
you know,
really
from
in the city of
no,
Chicago, am
no,
I?
you are not. No, no.
Thank you. See, this is why I needed to have somebody who lived from there to tell me where I'm. Because you think,
Right,
okay, I'm going to Chicago. I'm not really going to. It's like flying to Kennedy and saying you're in Manhattan.
right,
You're not.
right.
Okay.
But anyways, but then also while you're there, probably Friday and Saturday evenings at some point, we're gonna go live. We're gonna try to get Andy's gonna try to bring in some people, and we'll chat, for an hour or so, and to see who pops up. So that should be fun too.
Yeah, the idea is to do those panels and the crossover episode that I mentioned with Kit and Ed Chen, that will be recorded, and we're going to attempt to stream it on one of our channels. Again, as Kit says here in the comments, please just bear with us with the Wi-Fi
Yeah.
at the Hyatt, because it's not really, especially when you go inside these rooms. It may be a little dicey, so it'll definitely be recorded and
Hmm.
posted at some point. If it's not live when we do it, it'll be posted shortly thereafter before the weekend
Right.
ends, because it'll be recorded as well too. And then when going live from the lobby, as I see people kind of walking around, if I can just find myself a little area, that's what I'll try to do. And but that's the plan. That's the plan to do it. And so Two Legs will try to go live a few times. This way, Tom can interact with a few people that we might see as well too.
Yeah. That's great. That's great. Glad you're going. Sounds like a great time. And yeah,
Yeah,
we'll have
just
some
need
fun.
need to have just next year. Well, next year we'll do it again from New Jersey with both legs here. But next year we got to be all in for both fests. Jersey,
We
you got
got
to
to be.
come to Jersey, and then we got to go to all in,
Yeah. Absolutely.
all in.
Absolutely. All
Um,
in for the win. Yep.
yeah, I'm gonna try some. I'm gonna try some, Tony, but we'll see. I'm looking forward. We also have a couple of found out that James Campion will be there as well.
Yes.
He's
Yes.
he's
That's
gonna.
right.
I actually was talking to him via Twitter today. He's doing a couple of panels
Actually,
as well.
yeah.
He will be doing a presentation on his book,
Yep.
Take a Sad Song, The Emotional Currency of Hey Jude. He's doing that in the video room
Right.
on, I think, Saturday. And I think he's on another panel as well. So we interviewed him a few months back when that
Yep.
book first came out. So maybe try to grab him for a minute or
Yep.
two.
You gonna take the Jay Bergen book and try to get it
That's
signed?
Yep, and the Jay Bergen, who wrote the Lennon, the mobster, the Lennon, what was it, the Lennon, the mobster, and the
Mr.
lawyer.
Lawyer.
Jay
Yep.
Bergen, he'll be there. I'm going to definitely try to get that signed as well. Um, because and that's so there. I tell you, I mean, I know it's the guests are the guests, but listen, for a first time attendee for Chicago.
Yeah.
Listen, you've got your stalwart returnees of guests that are always going to be there, but in terms of authors and stuff, I think it's exciting enough for what
Hmm.
for what it can be in 2022. Hey, it's the first one in Chicago in 3
Right.
years.
Yeah. Pretty much. Tobias, they're both new books. One is dealing with Lennon, the Lennon lobster and the lobster.
The lobster, the lobster,
Lennon, the mobster, and the lawyer. Uh, and
and
then
the James
Take
Campion
a Sand,
book.
Chance
Yeah,
Camping book. Yeah. Dealing with the song "Hey Jude." So
wrote a whole book just on Hey Jude. And if
yeah.
anybody wants to know about that the ins and outs of James and how he wrote that book, just check out one of our episodes from a few months
Right.
back when we had him up. I think it was in
Yeah.
maybe late May, or I can't remember when we actually interviewed him, but it was a while ago.
Right.
Um,
Right.
yeah, funny guy, a lot of energy, lot of
Yes.
energy,
Yes.
lot of
Yes.
energy. So that'd be two Jersey guys out there. Kid said
Thanks,
she could
kid.
go. Kid, yeah, but as long as it's not Red Lobster, though, that's like cheap. That's crap.
Let me tell you something. One of the steakhouse that I worked at in the Palm. I mean, in Chicago, was called the Palm. Okay, we would literally get 10, 12, 14 pound lobsters that were half the size of. I mean, you stretch the arms and then you
Mhm.
stretch the tail. It'd be half of your body. I mean, these things would literally take like 45 minutes to cook. So we got some amazing, lobster. I could tell you stories at some point, but
Yeah,
yeah,
but
we got these monster lobsters all the
now,
time.
will you eat lobster still or no?
No, no,
You won't. Okay.
no,
All right.
no. But yeah, they were good. So
Well, you
but yes,
did. You
well
did.
yeah, I did.
A little butter on the top of it, and
Little
and,
but
and,
well,
and
you
then
dip it in the
you
butter.
dip it, and then you got to get
Yeah,
the lemon and squeeze.
yeah,
Ah, yoing, perfect.
yeah. It's all about
Uh,
the dipping, you know.
oh my god, the best. Listen, for those Italian,
Can yeah,
those
Laura.
Italians out there, it's Christmas
Yeah,
Eve, not like there's the seven fish dinner on Christmas Eve. Come on,
right.
that's the way to live.
Someone's wondering
Laura,
why we can't call it Beetle Fest.
you want to tackle that one?
No, Kid O'Toole can
Oh God.
can tackle that one.
Maybe Kit can chime in with a comment there. I think it has
Right,
to do something with Yoko
right,
um, not wanting it to be called Beetlefest. My
right,
memory was because it was called Beetlefest for God knows how
right.
many years, and now it's been the fest for the last what decade
I guess. Yeah.
or so. You know, the fest for Beatles fans. I
Right.
don't know. Maybe a kid can chime in there. I listen and give us but I think it had to do with requests from Yoko. I think
Mm-hmm.
why and I don't know. Listen, it's Beetlefest.
Right.
We all call it Beetlefest. We're the fest. It means Beatles Festival. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, yeah. Obviously, but yeah, you just can't just use that anymore. I mean, it's just Fest for Beatle fans.
Not on this channel. Not on this channel, Tone.
Too funny.
Um,
Oh my god.
so we need to pay some respects to a few
Mm,
people. First and
right.
foremost, listen, those of you know that my partner out, he has an obsession with Olivia Newton-John, and for the
Yeah, you can say that.
the 3 years that I've known him,
Yeah.
we have talked much about Olivia Newton-John, and as we all
Yeah.
know, she passed the other day at 73.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
oh, hold on
Cancer. Go ahead.
before we continue there, hold on.
Yeah.
Kid gave us an answer. It's a long story, but I think Apple finally told Mark he had to change it, or there will be legal consequences. Let's put it that way. Don't know about the Yogo connection. See, yeah. There's your answer. There's a better answer for you, Laura. I knew Apple was involved with the name change, though. So yes, on some level.
Yeah.
But yeah, Olivia Newton-John. Tom,
Olivia.
just
Yeah.
just give us a few minutes on because I'm not a huge Olivia Newton-John
Well,
fan.
yeah,
You are,
I know.
so go
I
ahead.
yeah, I think it's definitely an age thing. You know, like I said, I mean, I was 8 when I first discovered her. 81. The physical video came on, and then that I was in love. I didn't know anything about anything, and I had these, I had these funny feelings, going going through me, and I mean, it was just like I was just fell in love with her instantly, and then got to know more of her music, throughout the day. I'm just going to run through some of her records real quick.
Yeah, please, because I don't
Talk
know
about
anything really
right,
about her career
right.
at all.
The first, I mean, one of the first things that she did in 1970 was this soundtrack for the film Tomorrow, which she was in as well, but she's also on the Star Trek. I mean, in the film. But the funny thing is this was from Don Kirshner. It was
On Kirshner's rock concert. Yeah.
yeah, and we all know, he was in charge of getting the monkeys, hits and all that stuff. So,
Yep.
so I mean, this totally flopped. She's not on it a lot. I think she has one song by herself, and she does a couple duets. But yeah, it's called Tomorrow from 1970. Her first actual, I think, album was If Not For You. There it is right there, where she does the song If Not For You. Obviously, she did 3 songs from All Things
All
Must
things must
Pass.
pass. Yeah, I did not know that.
Yeah,
Reading a little bit about her
yeah.
after she passed. What she do? She did If Not For You, All Things Must
Uh,
Pass, and what else?
no, well, If Not For You, behind that locked door,
Lock.
and What Is
Oh.
Life, and What Is Life.
Oh, okay. Oh, she didn't do All Things Must
Right,
Pass.
right,
Okay.
right. But this also has a really nice version of If I Could Read Your Mind, the Gordon Lightfoot
No
song.
kidding. So
Yeah,
that's her true debut solo record.
right. Yeah, and then you got Me and Bobby McGee on here. Couple good things. Another nice album here is this is the Olivia. This is again, some good stuff on here as well. Take Me Home, Country Roads, the John Denver song.
Sure.
So early in her career, she did do quite a few covers. She wasn't really a songwriter. Her producer was the songwriter as well. This is where she really got came in big
Is
time.
that I Honestly Love You?
No, this is Have You Never Been Mellow.
Okay.
This was after. This was 74. Or no, I'm sorry, 75. So this is again another number one song for her
But
after.
when did I Honestly Love You come out?
That was 74, the year before.
Oh, because that's the one with the video of the Grammy Awards with
Yes, the
John
Grand with John, Andy Williams, and Paul
and Paul
Simon.
Simon. Yeah,
And she
and they
wasn't there to get the award. And guess who? And Art Garfunkel came
he
up.
came out and got it because
Right.
isn't John the one who reads the winner? Doesn't
What's that?
doesn't John the one who opens the award and says,
Yeah,
"I
I
honestly
think
love
so.
you, Olivia
Yeah,
Newton-John"?
John. Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
So, but yeah, again, really good song. I mean, this is real music. It's not, real musicians doing, great tunes. Olivia's a great singer, but yeah, I mean, a lot of covers though. But
Mm.
I'll give you one. I mean, and I love her covers too. Just Come On Over. This one has a copy of or a cover of Jolene, the Dolly Parton song, and she really made it her own. This album also has a great cover of The Long and Winding Road on there, so she covered that song as well.
Strings or no strings?
Yeah, there's some strings in there, but yeah, it's really good. Oh, and Willie Nelson's Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain, which is really good as well.
So are you? So obviously you're a hardcore fan. You have everything
Yeah,
that she's done. Tom,
not
or no?
everything yet. Not There's a couple I'm missing. A couple early ones. Then she does Grease in '77. Obviously,
Right.
that's the big thing. But right after that is probably my favorite period of her career. Right after Grease, and the album she does after Grease is called Totally Hot. And had the hit single on there called A Little More Love, which is a great single. Then you have,
Now that's
Xanadu.
now we're talking. Now we're talking.
This album, you got half Olivia Newton-John, the other half is ELO.
Yeah,
But
baby.
but then she is on Xanadu, and Xanadu's on the ELO side. So
Right.
she's all over this. She's all over this record.
It's funny. I
right here.
believe that was the only song that got to number. Was that her only UK #1? I was reading.
You know what? I really don't know her UK charts, but
Okay.
yeah. But
Yeah, 'cause I was
pictures
reading.
obviously of the movie. The
Yeah.
movie flopped.
Movie flop. Great song.
Yeah,
Great.
great song.
Her version's great, and so yeah. I mean, I love her
Right.
version, but
Yeah.
I think it was a pretty good hit.
Yeah,
Jeff Lynne.
and then her biggest hit right here, Physical.
Oh, of course. Now, what year is that now?
This is '81. This is when I first discovered her right here.
Okay, that's the
Okay.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So this has the big hit, Physical. Now, what some people might not know is Physical, the song, spent the most weeks at #1. Was for the '80s. No other single was with #1 longer, and it was 10 weeks. So even with with Prince, Michael Jackson, all those big acts throughout the '80s, she had spent the most weeks at #1 with a single. Yeah, I know, Tim.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that in a minute. We're gonna get to that in a minute.
And yeah, I think she had 5 #1s here in America too. So I mean, a lot of success, continued success. Then she did a greatest hits right after that, and then she had another top 10 hit with Heart Attack on there. And then, then she went back with John Travolta. Had another movie called Two of a Kind, which again, good soundtrack, but the movie flopped unfortunately. But this had her last top 10 hit called Twist of Fate on there, which was one of my favorite singles hers as well. And then the last album I have of hers is called Soul Kiss, which there's a little bit more provocative shot of her. Yeah. So
why'd you really buy the record, Tom?
Yeah, exactly. There's a like a really provocative song on here called Culture Shock, which is Tied Up too is a great song. Is about her, singing about being in love with two guys at the same time. So kind of like, pretty risque for Olivia.
Yeah.
But the one thing I will recommend though too, if you just want like a CD, this is 2 CDs.
Gold. Oh, one of the gold series.
Yeah, the gold
there
series.
You go.
2 CDs. This has just about every single that she released up to I think like 2000, early 2000s.
So career spanning.
Career spanning, absolutely everything. If Not For You on here. Xanadu, Magic, Suddenly, Physical. I mean, any hit of hers that you would want is on this double disc. So
yeah. In fact,
good stuff.
you didn't know about this when I texted you the other day. You were like, "What?" And then you were
But
like,
yeah.
and then you
Yeah.
saw it.
Yeah.
And I guess we got
Yeah.
the news quite late in the night over here because I saw people in the UK posting about it the next morning. I saw
Mhm.
Elton John's post about it, and I guess
Right.
the time difference or whatever, people in the UK, because I think it was around this time. Well, it was in the afternoon, so I guess for
Yeah.
whatever reason didn't reach the.
I think I learned about it until like 12:30 in the afternoon.
It was
You
early,
know.
but I
Yeah.
saw people like the next day in the UK were like woke up to this news. So I don't know if it was slow to get across the pond. I can't imagine how anything is slow these days.
Right.
But I just remember
Yeah.
seeing Elton's post saying, "Woke up." I guess he did this. I guess he didn't know the day before
Right.
about it. But yeah, so that
Yeah.
was one. And Tom has such
Yeah.
a. I've known for years that and he's the first guy I thought of. I said, "Oh man,
Yeah.
this is one of his favorites. I got to reach
Yeah.
out to him."
Yeah, and I want to thank everybody too that did reach out to me. I really appreciate it. I wasn't expecting all of that, but that was great of you
That
guys.
Yeah.
For reaching out.
Thank you for reaching out to my partner
Yeah,
on that one. And then, unfortunately, it wasn't a good week because
yeah.
we lost a very, very good friend to our show. Not only our show,
Well,
anybody
you
that
said,
kind of
yeah.
follows
Good.
anybody that in our kind of YouTube vinyl community, Beatles world, is going to know this guy. And his name, Beans, passed away, as you all know by now. We haven't been on since this happened, so I know a couple people went live and did some tributes and did some beautiful tributes to him.
Mhm.
A few nights ago, Joe Mayo did, Ethan Alexanian did,
Yeah.
and Tom I think was a little more closer to him than I was. I got to know him a little bit on our streams. He would pop on sometimes. I
Right.
noticed Beans would join us whenever we went late at night.
Right. Yeah.
And then for those of you who don't know, Beans' name, his full name was Kevin Reed, and he sadly passed away of cancer. And I knew him through the comments a little bit, but I got to know him over the last year or so. And he, was a big supporter of Two
Yeah.
Legs and always
Absolutely.
chimed in with great comments. I know he enjoyed seeing us talk about our different genres of music.
Yep.
I know when I took my dive in with Procol Harum, he really loved that. And he was really
Mhm.
supportive of me doing that. And I really enjoyed that because he knew exactly what I was talking about when I talked about those records.
Mhm.
So he was just a great guy. And when he was always a late night guy. When we did our unboxings or when we did our Get Back reviews back
Right.
in the fall,
Yeah.
he would always be the first one on
Yeah.
commenting live. So I guess he was a little bit of a night owl, but a good soul. And will be much missed. And Tom, I know you got to know him a little bit better, but he was. I enjoyed interacting with him, in the near 3 years that I've been on the show. So go ahead.
Right. Yeah, well, I mean, luckily over the last year and a half, yeah, I've been able to interact with him, a lot, through Facebook Messenger and then through other people's live streams. And yeah, not he supported us, but he not only did he support us, but he supported, our other friends, Joe Mayo, Tim Allen, Stephen Schnee,
Everybody,
Rob,
yeah.
Rob, and then Ethan, Brindley and Tom Finaljack, all of us. I mean, he really, really supported us, and I'll never forget him for him showing us his support and his passion for the music. He always, commented, when you drop the shows on Saturdays, and we both had a passion for Kiss
That's
as
right.
well. So we talked about Kiss quite a bit, personally, and also sometime in live streams, but we did a lot of late night live streams, with on other people's chats,
On other people's
private,
chats,
yeah,
yeah.
private
Public.
or live or public, yeah. So there was a few times where it would be like myself,
Oh, I'd see you
Pete,
guys on there like at 2 in the
yeah,
morning
yeah,
on Joe's
right.
channel or something. I'd be in bed like, oh, there's Tom and Beans. Like, and I'm like, what are these guys talking about? But you guys it was always entertaining. And
Yeah.
man, what a wealth of knowledge of music
Oh, it was
of all
phenomenal,
genres. Of
phenomenal,
all
phenomenal.
genres.
Yeah, and there's times we would get on and we would just we so some of us would do a Leno impersonation, and some of us would do a Jerry Seinfeld impersonation, and we do it at the same time, and it would just be complete madness.
What's the deal with
Yeah,
cats?
what's the deal? And then we go, did you see this? Did you see this? Have you heard about this? So I mean, it was just like hours and hours of that, and I'll never forget them. We had a great time. Again, we a bunch of us, we had a connection with them with him because he loves so many different genres
Yeah.
and so many different
Where he
bands.
was able to connect with lots of people.
Exactly, exactly. And again, our buddy Sam St. John, who's going to be going live soon too. So check out his channel. He just passed 500 subs. So congratulations to you, Sam.
Hey, Sam,
And
very cool.
yeah, and check him out. Yeah, and he was partly inspirational for getting me into this band called the Avett Brothers, which I love and adore them now, and great stuff. And he was just, yeah, very funny, very knowledgeable, and he was into it, and it was great. So like you with the Procol Harlem, Tim, he got into to music with Tim. He got into music with Ethan, and so many, Stephen Schnee, and then so many at Rob.
No,
So it was
he
great.
yeah, whenever I would talk about something on if we got off on a tangent or on a well, like
Yeah,
when we did our series where we talked about our 30 favorite albums outside of the
yeah,
Beatles,
right,
Beans was all over those
all
chats.
over.
Those were
Yes,
live shows, and if you can go back and
right,
watch them, they're archived.
right,
He he loved those because we were
yeah,
pulling out
right.
genres of music of everything that of what
Hmm.
we're into. And if you're not aware of that,
Yeah,
about a year, more than a year ago now, we did a series where we
right.
picked 30 records of that our favorites of ours, not including Beatles stuff. And
Hmm.
Beans was really a big integral part of that live series when we did it. I think we did it 3 weeks in a row, and it was
Right.
that's when
Yeah.
I really first kind of connected and said, oh, he really
Yeah.
he
He's
likes his
yeah,
other stuff too.
exactly. And I was saying on Talk More Talk the other night that the great thing about doing these shows, the live streams, the podcasts, the videos, is that we get to meet so many wonderful people, so many cool people, like Sam and Tony and Marcus, everybody. We get to meet all of these great people and make a connection with them, get to know them, they get to know us a little bit. But then the shitty thing about this is that, unfortunately, you know, we pass on. We all pass on. And it just sucks when it happens, so early for an individual. I mean, 52 is
Well,
you know, just too young for something like that to happen to anybody.
well, it's
Oh,
the power of the community, and really, if I'm
right,
being honest, it's the power of the music
right.
that
And that's
keeps
what it was.
everybody.
Yeah.
It's the power of the music that keeps everybody connected. I think
Yes.
all these years later, that's a
Right.
testament to the music that
Hmm.
everybody likes and enjoys. That's why. And
Right.
then, as you mentioned, you make these connections, even if it's virtually with people for a couple of years, and you don't even meet them in the flesh. That's still a connection and a relationship that you build and you have.
Right.
When those connections present opportunities to meet people in real life, it becomes even that more meaningful.
Right.
So like
Right.
when the fest in April, when I got to meet Kid O'Toole in
Right.
person for the first time, and Joe
Right.
Mayo and
Right.
Robert S. and all these people, and
Matt
also
Matt's Street.
Matthew Street and
Yeah.
people like
Beetle
that,
Brad. Yep.
and
Yep.
Beetle Brad and Allen C. Records and people like that. When you meet them in the flesh, it's already great because you have a connection with somebody in a platform like this. Then when you can go to an event and meet those same people in person, I'm telling you, it was like that day we were up in the marketplace and we took that photo with everybody. That was like
Right.
cloud nine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was like being on cloud nine
Right.
to connect with, because it's like you've talked to these people, now here they are standing in front of you. It's
Right.
awesome.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's
Tim,
awesome.
I hear you. I mean, that's
Yeah, man.
you know, um, whether it's a phone call or a video chat or a live chat, we he it seemed like he was always there for us. Whenever we wanted to, talk music with someone, Beans was always there, and this is going to be a hole that's I mean, these Beans, big shoes to fill.
Yeah.
Beans was just, again, he was just a great person, great to talk to, listen to you, and then when he had things to say, you wanted
Yeah.
to hear him because of how knowledgeable he was.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's still up on his channel. I don't think it is, but Ethan's live stream when you guys were
Right.
on that a few nights ago, that was incredible. Playing videos and songs
Yeah.
of his that they liked, and
Yeah, that he
uh,
loved. Yeah. Yeah.
that was great. I was loving that. When the press
Yeah.
video came on, they were like, some of those guys weren't into that video being up there, but I was like, this is great because
Right.
why? Because Fiends liked it.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I
Um,
mean, yeah.
yeah.
And and
Yeah,
that's
so
it. Sucks.
keep a
Yeah.
good thought and
Yeah.
rest in peace, Beans,
Yeah.
and
Rest in
thanks
peace.
for everything you've done for us here on two
Yes.
legs, and everything you've
Thank.
helped grow our channel and brand, and
Yeah.
being a supporter of our show, and much missed. So God bless.
Yeah. Yeah, we can wait, see here.
So
For me,
let's
Beans
see.
was like
So
hold on one second. Tim
go
Reeves
ahead.
says here for me, Beans was like Gumby. If you got a heat, then Beans is a part of you. Or yeah, a heart. If you got a heart, then Beans is, or
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Tim, and I know Tim was on there too. Tim, and I know
Yep.
Tim was obviously very good, very, very close to him as well.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so you get out of this what you put into it.
That's
That's
right.
just how that's what it is.
Yep.
So moving on a little bit, I see there's some chatter here about Joe's channel starting up a
Right.
John Lennon thing.
Yeah, we can talk about that for a minute.
So Henry goes back. This is earlier.
Yeah.
Henry says, Tom, Joe's making a John Lennon YouTube channel, kind of like this Paul channel, but for John Lennon. Okay, fine. And then James says that Joe is setting up his Lennon channel because he thinks John's getting marginalized, but I think that might be true in the U.S., but in the UK, I don't think that's the case. I don't think John Lennon's being marginalized.
Okay.
I don't.
Okay.
What say you?
You know, I see a lot of respect for John, but then I do see a lot of people out there, they always want to pound the fact that okay, he wasn't the best dad. He might not have been the best husband to
Listen,
the Cynthia.
personal and musician
He's
is two
yeah.
different apples and
People
oranges.
people just want to keep pounding this stuff. Yeah, his heroin use. I mean, people,
Personal versus
right,
professional musician is
right,
two different things. Are we talking about the
yeah,
man? Are we talking about his professional
right,
output? Okay, that's one thing. What he was as a private man and a citizen with his family, I'm
right,
sorry, that's two separate conversations.
right,
And to lump it all together, I think is stupid. Yeah,
right.
listen,
So
I don't think he's marginalized. I don't think 41 years on, and I'm glad Joe's doing the channel. I'm going to support the
yeah,
channel
absolutely.
because
I already subscribed.
yeah, I'm going to support the channel because listen, yeah, we're a McCartney show, but we're Lennon fans too. And as Tom and I have both told you, we were Lennon fans first before we were McCartney fans. So I don't think he's marginalized. I just don't think the fact that so much time has passed since his passing, there's not there's not enough ways to reinvent the wheel anymore in terms of creating content or topics, or so Joe feels he needs to make a channel. That's great. We're getting archive series and from the Lennon camp every year now.
Right,
So product is still coming, and
right,
that campaign has been, one could argue, the best one handled in terms of bang for buck and what you're getting in terms of the packages and Plastic Ono Band and
hmm
Imagine and things like that. So I don't think the people Lennon's being overlooked. I really don't. I just think that he's been gone for 41 years, and Joe probably feels that there's so much attention paid to McCartney.
Well, well, yeah, because he's still there. He's still making music. I mean, I think Joe's going to do an incredible job with the channel. He'll make sure that he gets
Yes,
his point across with if he feels like Julian is making these comments that dad his John wasn't the best father. I mean, Joe will make his case for whatever topic he might want to talk about. So I have complete faith that Joe will
yeah.
do a
See,
good
when
job.
Henry makes a good point here with cancel culture,
Yeah, yeah,
him being a hypocrite, preaching peace and love, and yet listen, we all know the man had faults, and he'd be the first one to tell you that he had faults,
right,
and he kind of realized that. I think a lot of it towards the end of his life,
yeah,
realizing that the errors of his ways, and he admitted that he screwed up.
right.
So
Well,
he
but
knew that.
people have been saying stuff like that before this cancel culture thing began as well.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
it's not like new news.
It's
It's
not new news, and
right.
it's just I don't. Susan, here we go. Susan wins
Mhm,
Susan wins with
yeah,
the comment of the night here. I'm tired of the John versus Paul stuff. They're both talented. We should appreciate both men's talent.
mhm,
Yes, there's plenty of John versus Paul stuff if you want to talk about early breakup stuff and documents and literature and the back and forth and the letters that Lennon wrote to the McCartneys and stuff like that. But
yeah,
listen, just listen to the music, man. Listen to the
mhm,
music that both guys made.
yeah.
That's it.
Let
That's
the
the end.
music play.
Listen to the music they made and try to separate the personal stuff from the music. And I think
Right.
if you do that, then you'll be okay. I know he wasn't maybe the greatest person, but you know what? Mind Games and Walls and Bridges and Rock and Roll are three pretty freaking good albums.
Hmm. Hmm. Christian, yeah, there is a new George podcast. It's called Apple Scruffs. Actually, one of the hosts is Skylar Mooney, who is going to be at the Chicago Fest.
Yep.
So check it out if you want to.
Yeah. Well, of course, Henry. It's like anybody in history, Kennedy, Martin Luther King, anybody who is taken down before their time is up is going to become frozen in time. Marilyn Monroe, that's what's going to happen.
Hmm.
You know,
No.
that's what's going to happen. They're going to become iconic. All that. Kevin M says at the time John was worried that sometime New York City ruined his career. Now with the issue could happen. Well, that's a valid point.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you do these, protest songs, stuff like that, you're gonna alienate a part of your base. When you say, Andy, if you're a fan and you don't believe in what he's singing about, why would somebody want to buy that record?
Right.
Even though they're a huge fan of that artist.
Well, listen. It is, and again, that Lennon by 1980 walked back that record. He walked back sometime in New York City. Listen to his final interviews when he talks about it. He disowns it. He disowns it, and that was in his lifetime. So he knew what he was doing. He always did it in the moment. In the moment, he felt that this is the music he has to get out there, and then things change, and then you go, okay, well, maybe I shouldn't have done that. But listen, he was never going to do that. He was going to. This is how I felt at the time. This is what I'm putting out. This is my statement. And he changed. He was like a chameleon that way.
Right. Yep.
He really was. Farrell, I don't disagree with you, my friend.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't disagree
Nor
with
do
you.
I. We all make mistakes. Every single one of us, and we shouldn't, just because we made a mistake 5 years before we get announced of hosting an award show, and then somebody buries up that mistake. The next thing you know, you're an asshole.
Tony, you need to do a little homework, my friend. You need to read some Lennon books on that one to understand where John was coming from at the time, that's a statement that Yoko actually came up with first.
Yep.
And then he took it and made a song about it. So listen to some of his interviews. Listen, look, YouTube it. Okay, he talks about it. Yeah, Beatley Tones. Context of the times, and this is something that Kit and I have said as well. If it's taken in the context of the times, then you can accept it for what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Matthew
Hey,
Street.
Matthew Street.
Hey, there's our man from Boston. How you doing? If it's remixed like "Give Me Some Truth," yeah. If it has that nice production, that the "Give Me Some Truth" box has, that'll make it sonically very interesting to listen. And why wouldn't it be?
Right.
We'll see. We'll see if it's remixed like that though, Matt. I think you'd be spot on, brother. I think we'll enjoy it more.
Yeah, I'm really curious. If that is announced and it does come out, how some people, will react to, those songs. Really curious.
Yeah.
But thank you, Matthew Street, for being here. We really appreciate it.
Yeah. 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 I know the clip you're talking about, Henry. Yeah, he's reading it on a piece of paper. No, you couldn't.
Right.
You couldn't. Yeah, New York City probably is, probably up there for the best song as well.
Yeah, it's a good story song. It's almost like a continuation of Ballad and John and Yoko. In a way.
Yeah, that's a good point, Tom. Yeah. And Angela, right? Matt Street. Angela sounds great on "Give Me Some Truth." So if the rest of the album gets that, I'm going to be honest. I'm probably going to skip a couple of Yoko tracks. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not listening to "Sisters Oh Sisters" or "We're All Water." I'm just not doing it. Sorry, kid. I know you love that song, but that's not getting any spins in this house.
Yeah,
absolutely not. Yeah, John Sinclair, great song.
Yeah. See, and that's another song too, where if you're totally against drugs and marijuana, which was, growing in population. And if that's not your thing, you're alienating, some of your fan base.
That I remember when I first heard John Sinclair, I'm like, how many times is he going to say the word gotta?
Yeah, gotcha,
Gotta,
gotcha,
gotta, 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 gotta. Said it. I'm like,
right,
whoa.
right.
And the rehearsals too. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Ollie. Yeah. Yeah. And get those Willowbrook rehearsals. If the Willowbrook rehearsals are included in this set, that would be
Yeah.
great too.
Mhm.
And all the Geraldo Rivera stuff. And I don't know if you guys have ever heard or seen any of those Lennon bootlegs. If you have them, you can list. There's like 10 takes of John and Yoko reading the commercial for their show at the
Right.
Garden at the 1-to-1, and they screw up like 10 times. It's hysterical. The
It's
trolls are back.
Hey, all right. It's funny how Geraldo found his way into these big shows, or he found his way into talking with the crowd outside of Madison Square Garden for the concert for Bangladesh.
Right.
Right? Was he
Bangladesh
outside for the
for
Seattle show and
Seattle
for
for
Paul?
Wings. Yeah, of course. Of course.
Right.
Yeah. I tell you, it's not a great record, but I just love looking at it, just the packaging of it and how it was done. It was very, very inventive. I have an original in there with the release to kind of keep John and Yoko in the U.S. The little petition, the piece of paper that's included with it. So looking back on it as a nostalgia piece, it's like going into a time capsule.
Right.
To when it came out. I know Spector's Spector's. Yeah, they did copy "Thick as a Brick" as Jethro Tull.
And
Also,
speaking of Jethro Tull, happy birthday, Ian Anderson.
happy birthday, Ian Anderson, 75, Mr. Flute
Yes.
player himself. Skating away on the thin ice of a brand new day.
Yeah.
They did copy "Thick as a Brick," but also for those of you Four Seasons fans out there, Four Seasons had an album just like this with the newspaper cover. Okay, and that was the Genuine Life Imitation Gazette, which also was a newspaper, which came out in '69. So I don't know which came out first, Thick as a Brick or that, but the newspaper design concept, the Four Seasons, believe it or not, actually did it. It was their version of like psychedelic kind of music. So it didn't really resonate with the Four Seasons kind of fandom, but it's a good record. And that's got a newspaper cover as well as Green says here, Thick as a Brick. But yeah, we'll see. And then, again, the live jam, that's in there with it's just, but it's funny when you got that, when they redid that, when they got reissued in the 2000s, Sometime in New York City was not presented the same way. It was not on 2 discs. It was only 1. And I think that's what you showed the other day.
Wait,
it was
that again?
Sometime in New York City in the 2005 CD re-release. It was only a single disc. It was not it was not the original 2 CD album that eventually came out. You've got other tracks. You've got Listen to Snow is Falling is on there and stuff. Though it was not presented as the original.
Happy Xmas and Listening to Snow is Falling is on there. But then you got some of the live. You got Cold Turkey. You got Don't Worry Kyoko.
But
you
not
got Well Baby Please Don't Go.
Right. So it's a little bit different. So I'm sure this will be restored with the same way as it originally was. Farrell, I agree with you. It is like the Four Seasons Smile. And Tim Allen says it's the Four Seasons best album. I agree with him. That's a great record. Great record. Mrs. Stately's Garden, right, Tim? That's a great song.
Yeah, Tim was saying they couldn't get the rights for Frank Zappa to do the 2-disc version. And I know there's videos out there of Frank Zappa's dislike for the original release.
Well, Baby Please Don't Go is a great jam. That's great. But some of that other Zappa stuff, Scumbag and Ow, I have no desire to listen to any of that stuff. But Well, Baby Please Don't Go, as Tony mentions here, that's fantastic. Right. But then again, in 2010 for the 70th edition, then it came out again for the Lennon and the Lennon birthday.
That's right, the Lennon box,
the signature box you got. It was restored to the 2 discs again. So
was it? Okay, I did not know that.
It was. Right. It's up there somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, so. Yeah, I mean, I just think, they're trying to commemorate these releases on their anniversary. Then this is the year to do it. What I really didn't like how they changed up Walls and Bridges. That I didn't like. They changed, the cover artwork was changed, and There was
Mhm.
some kind of tweaking with the vocals and stuff on a lot of that stuff. I did not like that. I didn't like that. And because I know we talk about these early 2000 Lennon reissues, remixes, how some
Mhm.
of them are really good, but some of them, especially Walls and Bridges, was a hatchet job, in my
Mhm.
opinion.
Yeah, "Don't Eat the Yellow Snow," I believe it's called there, Brad, and I think he performed that on Saturday Night Live, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
You
So
know, so but
yeah, we'll
yeah.
see. We'll see if we get out of the weekend and we hear any news out of the fest about any upcoming releases. Maybe
Yeah.
we'll hear any little tidbits or kernels of information to leak out. We'll see.
Right. Alright, cool. Well, this was a good hour and 5. Stick around for a couple more minutes, and then we're gonna. You guys can head over to Sam St. John's YouTube channel because I know he's going live as well.
Okay.
Um, if you
Yeah, if I
want,
can, yeah, we can put that up. If Sam, if you put your channel link in a comment, I'll highlight it if you want. If you're still here,
mm,
if not, we'll go check that out later. And yeah, so it's going to be a busy couple of days. So just
it
you
is.
know, I
So
wish you were coming.
I know, my friend. I know, buddy. But we're gonna a new show on Saturday, right?
Mm,
And it's gonna feature somebody you know pretty well, right?
just a bit.
Just a bit. So this weekend's show is going to feature Andy's dad, John Nichols, and we talk about his early days of Beatle fandoms, and then we get into the early McCartney solo career, and we talk about the fan perspective on Ram, and then we talk about the critics perspective on Ram. We run down the Rolling Stone review a little bit
Yep.
on there, and we just talk about that, and had a great time talking with your dad. Seems like a great guy. Hope to meet him one day, and
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, we
good
just
time.
wanted we called the episode the first generation. That's what we called.
Yeah,
That's what we called the episode. We called it the first generation because that's my dad. My dad's in his late 60s and he was there for everything, as I think a few of you on here were as well too. And his introduction to music is really why I have what I have now.
yeah,
So just thought about it. We're kicking up ideas. It's the summer. Tom said, "Sure, let's have him on." So that's going to drop on Saturday while I'm out at the fest. So I hope you all check that out. Absolutely, Brad.
Brett.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Sorry to
will.
hear that. Sorry to hear
We
that.
we will do that. We will
Yeah.
do that. Sorry, brother. So we'll keep a thought for you on Friday as well when in
Hmm.
out there in the fest.
Right. So not
Um,
only that going to drop on Saturday, but look for us to be live potentially on Friday and Saturday, as Andy's going to probably find a little spot somewhere in the hotel, and hopefully he can bring in a few familiar faces. You are, definitely, again, you get that Mark Lewis, and you got a big bonus coming your way, my friend.
yeah, it's called the suitcase on that shelf. Thanks. Bye.
Suitcase is off limits, buddy. Suitcase is off.
Buy
Listen,
at a
but
Pony Express too.
Pony Express. Listen, I wish you the best time. I think it's going to be great. And yeah, so we got again. We'll be back next Wednesday. And Andy will tell us all about the fest. And you want to add anything?
No. The next Wednesday will be our yeah. We'll go again when I get back
Yeah,
and hopefully recovered and
right.
I got all my steps back and get my pace back. And I don't think the swag will be as deep as it was in Jersey this time. We'll see. Tom and I had to make our own video for the stuff we bought at the
That's
Jersey
right.
Fest. We'll
That's
see.
right.
We'll see
Right.
how we do. I'm very, very selective in my what I look for these
Right.
days after 30 years of collecting. But
Yes.
I'm sure there'll
But
be
you were still able to find some wonderful stuff. I mean, that Brazilian
once upon a long ago.
Once Upon a Long Ago find was amazing. I'm totally glad you found that.
That was like things like that. If I see something
Right.
super like that, then I'll grab it. But
Right.
we shall see. Maybe a book or two, and I'm just looking forward to it. It's been a long couple of weeks for me personally, so I'm really looking forward to getting out and meeting people and seeing people again that I've met previously, and meeting more new people. And
Yeah.
and that's where I'll be. So
And then on Sunday we're going to, while you're there, we're going to have John Blaney back
we're
on.
gonna we have locked in the interview. We're gonna
We locked in
record
the
it.
interview.
Yeah.
Right. who's done this 4-part series, which is actually a one book at one point, and then he turned it into a 4-part series.
Right.
We're going to talk all about his books, and he also has 2 on George Harrison that are just like this as well. So, and then we're going to dig out some rare stuff in our collections, and we'll talk about those as well. So
Mhm.
be on the lookout for that in a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
So
so
Andy,
we're gonna
go
record
ahead.
that Sunday while I'm at
Right,
the fest. So I'll be in a different environment and I won't have my collection with me, but I'll
right.
rely on my co-host there to fill in the gaps, and then that'll drop in a couple weeks, and then we'll be back. So that's all the news that's fit to print, as it says
That's
on
right.
Sometime in New York City.
Oh, but Andy, good seeing you again, my friend, and we'll be in touch as always. And everybody out there, again, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you to everybody that reached out to me and watched all those great tributes to our friend Beans.
Yeah,
Thank you, Stephen Schnee. Thank you, Ethan. Thank you, Mayo. I think Doc Dacus did something too for Beans, and you guys are great
yeah.
as always. So we will be seeing you guys soon. So
And
Andy,
just want to say thank you, Tim. Tim said happy festing, Andy. So thank you,
yeah,
Tim. And we'll be on the chats, and we'll see you when we're out there. So,
yeah,
but
awesome.
yep.
All right, guys, we will see you live this weekend at some point. So
From Chi-Town.
Chi-Town.
So
All
we'll
right, take care,
see you
everyone.
then. Bye.